Hi class, I'm Gabby and this is Jarius, and today we're going to be discussing the Diary of Anne Frank. Students will participate in a play title called The Diary of Anne Frank in their reading books. You see? Diary of Anne Frank? Okay. Students will complete 2 of the 3 parts of a KWL chart based off what they know and what they know about the Diary of Anne Frank. Students will take turns reading lines from the play to get a better understanding of why Anne Frank kept a diary during the time of 1942.
All right, our state standard comes from the Alabama Course of Study, and it's to determine the theme of the story, drama, or play from details in the text, including how characters in the story or drama respond to challenges or how the speaker in the poem reflects upon the topic. Summarize the text. RL 5.2.
Okay, today the concept development will be a KWL chart on Anne Frank, and this is how the KWL chart is supposed to look. Right here. In the first box, you will put what you know about Anne Frank, what you want to know about Anne Frank, and what you learned about Anne Frank.
All right, for our vocabulary development, we'll be using the 4-square chart, which is this chart right here. All right, our vocabulary words are Holocaust, diary, basement, possessions, mythology, peculiar, and protectors. In the 4-square chart, you're supposed to put the word in one box, the definition in the next box, the synonym in the box below the word box, and the antonym in the box below the definition box.
Okay, today our skill development will be a KWL chart, 4-square, and defining vocabulary terms.
For explicit instruction, today we're going to teach how to use the KWL chart. And the KWL chart is used for guided reading. You put what you know in one chart, what you want to know in another side, and at the end of the reading, you put what you learn.
Okay, for the guided practice, today we will write a KWL chart on the board. The teacher will ask students what do they know about Anne Frank and what would they like to know about her. Teachers will inform students that they will participate in the play on the Diary of Anne Frank during reading time. Students will select the character by using equity sticks. Students will participate in the play. After the play, students will complete the KWL chart. After completion of the KWL, students will complete a 4-square chart independently to define the vocabulary terms from the previously read play. Students will then share their 4-square chart with the class.
All right, for our mediate and mastery, our procedures, the students will share the 4-square chart in class, and then they will compare their 4-square charts with one another, comparing and contrasting each other to receive a variety of definitions and interpretation of the words. Students will discuss what they wrote on the last part of the KWL chart, what they learned in the story. The students will discuss amongst each other what they all learned about the Diary of Anne Frank. The students will be placed in pairs to discuss the story. We will use the read, pair, and share strategy in order to get further understanding about the story. And the student pairs will report to the class what they found interesting about the story.
Okay, the strategies that we will do today, we will be using the KWL chart, the 4-square, and the read, pair, and share strategies.
All right. For our own teacher reflections, we'll ask ourselves, did the students understand the concept of the KWL and the 4-square? Did the students have a relevant discussion when they were asked to talk about their definitions in the 4-square and when they were asked to read, pair, share? Do we need to stay on this topic much longer, or are we ready to release the lesson to the students?
Okay, for the releasing of the lesson, our procedures would be have the students complete a flow map of the story, allow students work in pairs to mediate the story and allow them to get the best sequence of events. Discuss the flow maps once the students are done and allow them to compare and contrast each pair map.
All right, when we review the lesson, we'll go over the completed flow maps, discuss the story and ask review questions, and draw destiny sticks for answers. Allow the students to discuss as a whole how they feel about the story.
And for the student reflections, the questions would be, who is Anne Frank? Why is she so influential in history? What was her nationality? Who was she hiding from? And how does her diary end?
All right, for concept confirmation, the students will pull out their KWL charts again. Students will check to see if they learned everything they put in the W part of their KWL chart, what they want to know. All right. If the students didn't learn all they wanted to learn from their KWL chart, the teacher will probe for an answer to that question.
And for the assessment, the students will be given a circle map and asked to put Anne Frank in the middle and allow them to fill in the circle map. And this is a sample of the circle map right here. And you will put Anne Frank in the middle. The students should write what about all they learned about Anne Frank from the reading.
And that is our lesson.
Bye.
Bye.